I'd have to look at the statistics, but I'd say if there's like one food that is present in every country on the planet. I mean, I've made pizza in Mongolia, so it's like it's all over. It's pizza.
This is Taste. I'm your host, Matt Rodbard. I was so excited to invite my friend Maurizio Leo to New York City to walk the steamy streets and eat a lot of pizza. Maurizio is the author of The Perfect Loaf, an incredible cookbook and online community dedicated to all things sourdough. Maurizio and I visited 7 pizzerias along with lead producer Clayton Gumbert and tasted our way through some of the city's best and maybe not best slices. So what do we think about Joe's, Industry, Mama's 2, Lucia, Upside, Scars, and F&F? Well, you're going to have to tune in. Also on the episode, I catch up with Anthony Falco. Falco is a global pizza consultant and a true pioneer in the pizza game. He just returned from a 3-week trip to Italy, and we talk about all the pizza styles and trends he spotted there. We also move beyond pizza to discuss the modern trattoria scene, good and great gelato, and how Anthony's appreciation for art dovetails with his interest in the culinary world. This is a pizza-packed episode, and I hope you enjoy it. We're sitting at Joe's. We just ordered 3 slices. It's a limited menu. I mean, you can definitely go fresh mozz, you can definitely go or soft mozz, or you can go pepperoni. It's not that crowded. It's 11:15 a.m.
It's early in the day.
What's your impressions looking at it?
One of the things I've been trying to figure out is how to get the right melt of the cheese. So I've been ordering, because in New Mexico, there's not a huge fresh cheese selection or even aged. So I've been ordering like grande mozzarella online, and that's been the best that I've used. And so I'm looking at like the webbing that this kind of creates, and the oil and like the pooling. So some cheeses I've used, there's just too much oil coming out.
It pulls up.
For me, this is just right on the cheese. Right?
I mean, at this volume at Joe's, and they do hundreds and hundreds of pies a day.
Yeah.
They clearly got this thing down,
dialed in.
I mean, my impression is this slice has always to me been about the thickness, which is it's not
very
for a New York slice. It's incredibly light.
Yeah.
If you pick it up, it's one of the lightest single slices you're gonna get. So let's taste it.
Let's dive in.
Yeah.
Good cheese, man. I love it.
I love that cheese.
So simple. But
There's no aromatics getting in the way. It's very cheese heavy. We have to acknowledge that this is our first pizza of the day, which kind of ultimately makes it the best pizza of the day.
Yeah.
When you had that first bite of pizza. And we're gonna have to acknowledge on our last stop that our palates will be in
it'll be different.
Unique place, but
it's gonna evolve through the day. But I also like the bottom crust, like a uniform color.
Yep.
No, one thing that gets me is pizza when it's too white. It's just not thick enough. Especially the outer rim. Like, I don't know. I want a nice brownness on the outside, and it folds without snapping, which I think is
for New York slice.
It's key, right?
Very good point, Maurizio. It's we're all kind of doing Clayton as well. We're all doing the fold method, which is something that I never knew about.
Just part of life here, probably for you.
Eventually, but growing up in Michigan, Domino's, Little Caesars, I was going in like landing on an aircraft carrier, like a plane. There's no folding that guy.
Right.
I like the sauce a lot here. Again, it doesn't really have aromatics at all. It's definitely sweet.
It is sweet.
Which to me is what I grew up on moving to New York. It was the profound sweetness of the gas oven pizzerias here is just, and I think at like 2 a.m. you need that.
Yeah.
It can't be subtle.
Right. I think it goes well with the crust and the cheese, and like you said, I think it's probably a food memory for most people here.
Yeah. Good call. Well, I think we should head on to the next spot. What do you think?
Do it.
Let's do it. All right, so we're in line at Industry. 11 people in front of us. It's 15 minutes before opening, so I feel pretty good about this.
Yeah, we'll get in quick. Yeah.
So, in the research for your book and just in general, you've never been to industry. What do you know about it? What are you thinking?
I've just, I've done a deep dive on New York style, so whatever you can find online, right? And like asking people, searching online, trying to find information on the style of pizza that they're doing, how it's different from a typical, quote, New York style. And just trying to take tips from, the dough program, or how they're mixing, fermentation times. The difference for me is that all my doughs are sourdough, 100%.
Yep.
So, I'm pretty sure theirs are yeasted. Almost every pizzeria is yeasted. I think it's maybe changing a little bit now. Like a lot of pizzerias are doing 100% sourdough, which is harder.
Very, very hard to do and more rare.
It's more rare, and the reason is when you have a pizzeria, like my dad's pizzeria, you need predictability.
Yeah.
You don't want to have a batch of dough that just doesn't turn out. It's like extra hot the next day or whatever, and so yeast provides that comfort zone.
Yeah.
But you also don't want sourdough pizza that's sour in any way. So there's extra steps you have to go to
like tamping down. I mean, that's the
Yeah.
pizzaiolos who are anti-sourdough, and I've come across them. We'll get to that later today.
Okay.
I have a thought on that when we make a very specific visit. We'll be visiting a pizzaiola who doesn't quite agree with the sourdough method. But it's really important to obviously balance it because you don't want it to taste sour. I think we all can agree on that.
Yeah, it's not like bread, where when I make sourdough bread, I'm not looking for super sour, but I want enough so that your mouth starts to water, and so it's kind of a different way to build it up. You don't want a lot of sourness in pizza.
So what do you know about this place? Because I know you had checked it out online early on. It reminded you of something.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of the way my dad started. Like, he came over from Italy. He didn't really have a plan. He was like, should I start a restaurant? Should I work in construction or whatever? He was a trained chef, but he just made it up as he went. Like, there were no, like nowadays I think there's kind of a path you can follow for restaurants. Like, okay, you can get these ovens and whatever. But 45 years ago, there was no, he was using a bakery oven to make pizzas, and I think that's kind of the New York style.
The
right?
baker's prides are in most of these places.
That kind of oven makes a certain type of pizza.
Yeah.
So, anyways, I think the owner of L'Industrie reminds me of like my dad, right? He's like scrappy, just figuring it out as he went.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. I love that.
I love it too.
Yeah.
Well, I can't wait to check this out. Yeah. So, Maurizio, industry. I call it industry. You call it industry. What thoughts? What are you thinking?
I mean, it's amazing to see the line. It's something. But I thought the pizza was great. The texture was good.
Yeah.
I like that it was different. There wasn't that sweetness that you're getting in some of these other New York pies. And I love the texture of the crust. I thought was really good. I didn't taste a lot of depth of flavor in the crust.
Dough. Yeah,
in the dough
me too.
itself. But I think they're going for a good quality sauce. The cheese was good, melt was good, and then it was a great slice.
Yeah, I do not like the burrata slice. I'm fully opposed to that being on my pizza. I am with those who are in the against camp, and that's my only notes on the negative side about industry. I think what they're doing is a show. We like great music. Things are popping, and like clearly a very exceptional pie and slice. I did like the range of the menu. They had like spicy salami. They had a burrata slice. They had regular. They had. We tried the fig mascarpone, a little bit of bacon.
I like that.
It was good.
Yeah.
I mean, it was totally a one direction, one note idea on top of this very nice crust that has great structure, less flavor. I agree the flavor development in the crust is not as there or aggressive, and that may be intentional for them. Yeah, I think it balanced out with the sauce and the cheese that they're using. And you're right, and the toppings, I mean, there were more, I don't know, intense toppings, flavor-wise. But I agree with you on the burrata. I'm not a huge fan, mostly because it's not easy to
to eat through, and if you're using a fork and knife, which I think on a New York slice you're not going to be doing, and so it doesn't quite fit for me. I'm more of a less is more.
Me too.
Type person.
Typically, we'll hit some spots later. We're on only our second visit. I think we'll see some more maximalist slices that maybe will bring you over to that side. I just think it's a clear reason to eat a lot of burrata, which is why burrata does so well as a side. It's like you're eating this incredible cheese with a high cream content. It's burrata is literally cheese and cream together.
And on the bread side, having a piece on bread is amazing because bread is meant to absorb the ingredients, right? So if you're topping with olive oil, like that fits perfectly. For a pizza, it's thin, and so how can you support a large ball of cheese?
I know, it's so strange. I mean, it was smart. It was like a viral idea. So line check, we started at 11. I think when they opened the doors, there was over 75 in line. Now, like 20 minutes, 30 minutes after opening, the line seems to be consistent 45, 50.
Yeah. I mean, for me to see that is insane. It's shocking.
It's funny.
But the model works for them. Like you walk up, you grab a slice, and you walk off, and so it's perfect. You can service these people; they're not going to be waiting too long.
No.
And they're just constantly firing off those pies in there. So
in and out within an hour, I would say. To be honest, like pizza, you can eat fast. Right. All right, let's go to the next spot. So Maurizio, we are at the new-ish location of Mama's 2, and when they moved downtown from I would call it near Columbia uptown on Broadway, it's kind of a big deal because up until that point you had to go way uptown to have this pizza.
I see.
And a lot of people did. I remember the first time I heard about this pizza was actually from Phil Rosenthal. He and I were catching up, and he told me that he was going to Mama's 2. This was several years ago, and he was like, I love that place. And I was like, Phil Rosenthal knows his shit. So I was like, let's go, Phil. And I've been up subsequently several times to the Upper West Side version or way uptown version. I've been here once to this West Village location, and we're here on a Friday. As of this whole day is unfolding, the lines are apparent.
We're just hopping from line to line.
We're hopping from line to line.
I love it.
And we'll talk about our thoughts about this pizza when we get in and try it. But I think that they have been known for their creative takes on pizza. That's what I would say. Okay. They also do a lot of sandwiches. A guy is literally doing a TikTok in front of us while we're eating in line. So we also have the same microphones. We're using the same lavs. So we're all fam here.
Does it look like a meatball sub?
Yeah, he's doing meatball subs. So it kind of reminded me, they're known for their subs and their sandwiches too. So Mama's 2 is everything. So for me, I'm really excited to introduce you to this pizza. On July 23rd, we are hosting quite an event at the Bell House in Brooklyn, and you can get your tickets now. Eliza and I will be joined on stage by some of the food world's most interesting figures, including Haley Catalano and Chuck Cruz, and the one and only Padma Lakshmi. We will talk about summer cooking and some of the big topics of the day. The event will also feature a live taping of Bon Appetit's Bake Club with Jesse Shepchek and Shilpa Uskokovic. That's Haley, Chuck, Shilpa, Jesse, and Padma, all appearing on the Bell House stage with Eliza and I. July 23rd is the date. Get your tickets at the Bell House website or the link in our show notes. I hope to see you there. These slices are not fucking around. They're very heavy. Yeah. What do you think?
I agree. They're heavy, but at the same time, not as much as I thought it was going to be.
Okay, fair, yeah.
Because it's so thick, I think there's the actual crust is super light. There's a lot of fermentation in there.
Yeah.
It wasn't like a dense piece of pizza.
Fair. Well said. I mean, there's flavor development too in the crust. I tasted some of that too in the dough.
And nice and crispy on the bottom, ultra crispy, which I think is great. I love I think the crispness on the bottom contrasted with that soft, fluffy top and middle part. I think that's what does it for me. It's that contrast that's so good. And because the crust is so light, you can get away with the cacio e pepe, which is a little bit heavier, but still, it's one slice max and I'm done. But it was good.
Okay, well, we're just warming up. That was number 3 of 7. Let's go to the next spot.
Let's do it.
So we are down on West Broadway and Canal at Lucia's Soho location. Now they have locations, they originated way out in Brooklyn and have, I think this is their 3rd location, I believe, but a real institution, right? And The expansion is cool to see. I wish LMB I think tried to do it and put up a spot in Brooklyn and Dumbo maybe. But, I'd be curious. I haven't been here. This is like the one place I haven't been on our tour. So I don't know what we're going to have.
It looks, I'm kind of peeking in the window here. I see a really nice tall crust on the edge. Huge pies as usual, but I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm excited. Let's go inside. That pizza was really good. It was cool to have it in this kind of pocket on Canal and West Broadway, because the vibe was like there was cops, there was like young, cool kids, and then like random people like ourselves. So I think the pie, in my estimates, was, I rate it very high. And maybe one of my favorites that we've had so far. And I really liked, to me, the flavor in the dough was noteworthy. I really got great flavor development there. What did you think?
Yeah, I think it wasn't just a textural thing. The texture was nice, but there was actually flavor contribution there. Like levels of flavor, right? You get the cheese, the tomato, and then the crust itself brings something to the table. I liked it.
We tried the Nona slice, the grandma slice, and I feel like that was as close to Nona that I know than we had so far.
Yeah, it was probably half the thickness of Mama's too, and I would say a little bit more dense, but it still had a nice crispiness on the bottom. And I think to me the biggest difference was there was just a lot more oiliness to Mama's too.
Oh,
and it might have been the cheese or the toppings. Well, of course, that's going to contribute to it, but this was just a little bit more of a cleaner slice.
Yeah.
And I think for me, it was the texture, like the thickness was
a
little bit more dense, in a good way. Like I really liked it.
Let's head to the next spot. Okay, Maurizio, we've walked over now. We've headed east, and we're at Upside at the corner of Mulberry and Spring. I've really enjoyed coming here and watching the evolution of the brand. I know Anthony Falco was on the ground level when this pizzeria was launched, and I just think the world of what they're doing, and I love the way they expand, and each of their shops has a real vibe. They pick cool real estate, and I enjoyed the pizza. So
it looks super cool. Really busy corner. Like you said, the vibes here are very different from where we were. Let's do it.
Great. So we've had the slices at Upside. This is a highlight for me.
This is easily at the top ranks for me. This was amazing, especially the corn pie.
Yeah, tell me, what do you like about the corn?
I think it's a non-traditional topping.
Yeah, corn and poblano.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but
a white pie.
It has a little bit of like hometown vibes for me with the peppers.
Green chili in New Mexico, yeah.
Green chilies everywhere. A little bit spicier than the poblano, but I love the pairing. The sweet and spicy together, I think it's amazing.
Yeah, and like what I like about their corner slice, which you'd call like Sicilian, more than Nona,
right?
Probably because of the pan and the frico, and it looks like it's going to be a bomb. And like we got that bomb at Mama's too. We got that bomb, and it's good. And some people really want that bomb, but it's a magic trick because you tear into it and it's light as air.
Super light. It's deceptive. It looks like you're gonna half a slice and you wouldn't be able to eat any more, but I think you could eat a whole slice, and that wouldn't be a full meal. Like I could eat one and I'd still feel good afterwards.
I know, and guess what? I've been there. I've had one as like a snack, and it's a beautiful snack. But let's talk mostly about the flavor in the dough, because I think we both remarked when we were tasting it, and you're a sourdough expert. You think about flavor development deeply. What they're doing with the dough here, I mean, it's not a full sourdough, but it's getting into those realm, which to me is very exciting.
Yeah, it's harder to do, but I think the levels of flavor that you're getting from this kind of a crust is just way more than you would with just a standard yeasted dough. And you can tell they're really pushing fermentation in this. Like it's super light, super airy, which makes the dough, arguably a little harder to handle.
I mean, it sounds like, from what I remember, they're over 48 hours in program. It's like maybe 72 hours of rotation. So that's a 3-day fermentation. For a place that operates at scale, they've got 5-6 locations now in New York alone.
That's hard.
I'm just waiting for them to get to 300.
Right.
I mean, I could see this idea, this vibe, this energy, and of course this exceptional pizza, doing well all over the country. Well, it's impressive. Really, really good job, Upside. Really good job. Let's head to the next stop. So we're here at Scars. This is stop number 6 of 7. And back to my burrata comment from the industry. Industry is obviously famous for burrata. Scars, their point of view is like no burrata. They're like not about it.
Anti-burrata.
Yeah, because and on social they just posted a photo of the staff wearing a no burrata shirts. So they clearly have a point of view. Now, I had Scar Pimentel on the show recently to talk about his cookbook and his process. The guy really cares about wheat, about grains. Like he mills all of his own flour, and really he makes the clear claim that he's not selling the pie for the price it really costs. Like he really is trying to keep the prices at an affordable level, but while using the highest quality of products. That's what we're getting into here.
From my perspective as a bread baker and somebody who mills my own flour pretty much every time I bake, I love that. Especially in pizza. Like I feel like you don't see that often, and that instead of treating the flour and the grain as just another commodity ingredient, to me it's like going deeper, like another level.
Great.
So
well, let's go inside. Let's check it out and see how the pizza is. So we've had the pies. I mean, Maurizio, you are pulling apart the crust. You're smelling it. You're kind of quiet, which I think is a good sign. I mean, you're really. What do you think about Let's talk about dough first, because I know we know Scar is so into milling, and you're yourself as a bread baker care so deeply about it. So you have that shared value there.
I think for me, you can't have a good pizza if the dough and the crust isn't good. Like that's where it all begins. Like you can put whatever toppings you want, you can mask it however you want, but if you don't have a good dough or a good base, then it's not going to be a good pizza. But I think this is really amazing. I'm looking at the color, like there's a yellow kind of goldenness to the interior, super light and fluffy. I love how it's cooked pretty boldly on the bottom.
Yes, it's not like leoparding, it's like black cat.
Yeah, but it's it's
way.
the right level of char. You know what I mean? It's not acrid. Or,
no, we're not tasting burn. You're right.
And to me, I almost always eat a pizza. I almost want to eat from the crust in.
Oh, I've witnessed it. That is
that's what I've been doing. Because to me, that's where it all begins. And this is a really nice. The flavor and texture is great.
I'm glad you like it. To me, I always just order the slice. The hot boy. We tried the hot boy as well. I like it. Just don't like honey on pizza personally. This is my take. I think that the cheese he's using and the way you had noted, Maurizio, about the bubbling and the kind of like the crown of the cheese was different.
It's different.
And it just like has a characteristic of there's like age in there. This is an aged cheese. There's like definitely more thought that goes into, maybe not thought, because all the places we're going to think about their pies, but there's just something about the flavor of the cheese alone that makes me keep coming back for this slice.
Yeah, I think, and I mean, we've only tried 2 here, but I think if I came here, if I lived here, I would probably just go, cheese every time, which to me is like the essence of pizza. I mean, aside from just tomato, the cheese for me is the next step, where it seems like it should be a simple thing, but you can actually, if you have good cheese, if you have good tomato, and you have good dough, like it punches way above, some that have fancy toppings, let's say.
Pardon my chewing, I literally just shoved more cheese pizza into my mouth while you were explaining. We typically were just like talking, but I just saw the cheese there and I had to eat some more of it. I'll just close and just say, I haven't been back here in about 6 months, and try to come here every 6 months, and this is one of the better slices I've had at Scars ever, and I'm really happy to report that back, because there was a time when I came here when they first opened the pizzeria, I had a pretty mediocre experience, and it wasn't in my mind, but the last 2 times I hit slices, really, really good. And I agree with you, the flavor in the dough shines. Well, let's head to our final stop. You feel like eating some more pizza? You feel like pizza today?
Let's do it, just a little more.
A little more pizza, we'll do that, all right. Well, Maurizio, our final stop was a place I needed to take us. I've talked about so many times on the show, but we're actually on location on Court Street, outside F&F, which to me it's on the podium for best slices in New York. For me, it's always L&B Spumoni Garden. That's for another trip when you visit, and then F&F. And I'm just excited to show you the way the Franks articulate their pizza vision. They definitely use a less is more approach. I've always been here for the Sicilian slices. I've had Sicilians that have been lightly dressed. They're almost like focaccias. The one we're going to try today, I believe, has green olives. So I'm just thrilled to be here to take you into F&F. All right, so we've finished the consumption part of this tour. I'm feeling great. I'm just absolutely loving being out. Yeah. Loving hanging out with you.
It's amazing.
It's been really fun, Maurizio.
It's amazing to be in the city.
It's great to be with Clayton as well. We've enjoyed some great pizzas. Let's just talk about F&F. I mean, to me, I said what I said in the opening. This is on my podium. What do you think, Maurizio?
I think this is definitely some of the best pizza out of all of them. I really like I don't know if they called it the Sicilian, but it's, I mean, to me it feels like a focaccia that I would make. I mean, these are just semantics, but it's a green olive, and you can tell they just kind of hand crushed the whole peeled tomatoes on top. But it's minimal. There isn't a lot of, not a ton of oil. There's not, it's not packed with tomatoes. It's like really balanced. Fermentation is spot on, super light and fluffy crust, and a pretty crispy and crunchy rim. I mean, I think this is one of my favorite out of them all. And I was coming into this expecting triangular slices were going to be the king, but that was pretty
It's
stellar.
kind of their secret weapon is their Sicilian, which I agree. I think the flavor of the dough has always been something that has drawn me here. Before I even thought about what sourdough was, and once I met you, we talked a lot about sourdoughs. I always called this more of a sour pizza dough, even though it's not technically a sourdough. Just thought there was a lot of flavor there. And agree with you, the way they're topping these pies, it's not maximalist. It's just well curated, positioned, selected toppings in an even way.
Yeah, on a flavorful dough, which is, in my opinion, the most important thing out of the whole pizza. So
they get extra points for just the pizzeria itself. It's like, I just love coming out here to this. They have a courtyard. They're having a private event tonight, so we're out on the street, and there's nothing just better than hanging out for either Frankie's or F&F. Just love being here.
Everybody was friendly inside.
I mean,
you can tell when you go to a place and the workers inside are in a good mood. Everybody's happy to talk about dough or schedule or whatever. I felt that here.
Yeah, they were cool here. They've always had good stuff at F&F. I've talked about so much on the show, and now we're here reporting from here. All right, so we're done with this tour.
Yep.
7 pizzerias. We started at 11:15. It's now almost 4. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling good. A lot of the pizza is thin. They're light and airy, and we didn't eat full pies either. So, but I think I have my fill of pizza.
Okay, so we started at Joe's, really with the classic. We went to Industry. We headed to Mama's 2, and then we headed over to Lucia. We walked around Soho a bit, and then we headed over Upside Pizza, down to Scars, popped over on the F train to Carroll Gardens, up at F&F. We've hit many on the New York Times list, not that they're the benchmark. We've hit many names that we've talked about on the show. Maurizio, what are your highlights?
Well, I think the reoccurring theme here for me is that it's really the dough that I'm most impressed by. I think at Upside I thought was phenomenal. I think the dough there was super flavorful. And F&F Sicilian was pretty phenomenal. I liked L'Industrie. I thought it was a really nice slice. I think the flavor at Upside and F&F was a little bit more complex. There's more layers there, which I appreciate, and I like that. But I also, I liked the slices at Mama's. I thought they were in a different way, a different kind of pizza, especially for me, where I didn't really grow up eating that style of pizza. So it's different, but it was good.
I like those thoughts. I'll just add, I think that for me, in terms of like the actual favorite bite, I'm still going to go back to Scar's cheese.
Yeah.
Just everything came together today. They were having a good day. I think that F&F is having a great day today with their focaccia. We also tried the sausage and Rob iconic slice that is just straight as an arrow, always there. I think that we progressed in terms of dough styles, in terms of the fermentation. And Upside really took it from me. I think that what they're doing there with the flavor in the dough was just exceptional. I think F&F also has, with this focaccia, just such a flavor profile that shows time and maturity. Going back to industry, I think that was like the most, even though it was like right at the beginning, that was like the most fun space.
Fun. Yeah, it was
like,
fun.
It was like booming, and I love the way it's designed, and I love that it had a beautiful pastry case filled with desserts. I love the energy there. I think Mama's struggled for me a bit today. I just thought the pies felt overly done and heavy. And this is now like my 4th time. I'm not sure if I'm gonna run back. There's like many other slices I wanna try. I wanna go to Ceres just to have pizza. So I don't think I'm gonna run back to Mama's too, but I'm definitely gonna head back to all the other places whenever I can.
Yeah, it was fun. I mean, you really can't go wrong. It's almost like, what mood am I in today?
Yeah.
You know, which place do I feel like the most? And if I lived here, it'd be hard picking every day. Yeah.
Hard picking. It's such a beautiful thing to be able to have a meal for under $20, and that includes like a nice drink and gratuity and a couple slices and maybe a quick salad or something. I mean, just such an affordable luxury. Say that a lot on the show. To have pizza so beautifully done with such care at such a low price point.
Yeah,
we're lucky in New York City.
You're definitely lucky, and you have to think. You know, a lot of these doughs are 2-3 day fermentation schedule, and so it's not something they're whipping together right there in the moment. You know, so there's a lot of thought, a lot of planning, and a lot of systems that have to be in place to serve this kind of pizza at this scale. So.
Well, I loved hanging out with you. Let's close and tell us about what you tell us now about the book.
Okay, yeah. My book is it's all about pizza, focaccia, a few special bread recipes thrown in there. It's all sourdough, so there's different kinds of schedules that you can go on for making these doughs. I think that's one of the hardest things for people at home is, these pizzerias they're on this cadence, every 2-3 days they have doughs, but at home you may not want to have dough prep during the week while you're busy working and then have pizza on the weekend. So part of the book is about scheduling and making pizza, like amazing pizza at home, a reality for anybody.
And a great companion for your first book, The Perfect Loaf, to have like a great bread program and then transition all that energy to pizza in with a bunch of great recipes.
Yeah, and I think they're related, right?
Oh, yeah.
A lot of people think bread and pizza are two completely different things, but, like I say in the book every few pages, like, if your dough is good, then your pizza is going to be good.
Let's leave it at that, Maurizio. It's been fun hanging out. Clayton,
likewise.
Thank you so much for hanging out, too, and thanks for joining, buddy.
Thanks for having me.
Anthony Falco, welcome back to This Is Taste. How are you?
I'm great. Thanks for having me back. I'm so glad to be back in New York and be back here talking with you.
Well, you just returned from 3 weeks in Italy, and you were on the road with your family, the 4 of you, and I was observing it from afar, from social media, and some messaging in between. And what a great trip.
It was amazing, and I mean I travel for my work like nonstop, and if there's between school and the feasibility of the location, if I can have my family with me, it's great. But the reality is, I'm out there by myself a lot. So summer comes and the kids are out of school. We all took the opportunity to go there, and Roman my youngest son had never been to Italy. Frank had been when he was 6 months old, so he didn't remember it at all.
Oh, I didn't realize that. I thought this was almost like a regular thing you do. So this is like the first time the whole fam was together in Italy.
Yeah. Well, sorry. That was the first time that we did go to Rome like a couple of years ago. I forgot about that. But
fine.
It was the first time that Roman had been to Milan.
And
so Frank had been to Milan when he was 6 months, which was really funny. But yeah, I mean, I want to make it a regular thing. I think it's great for the kids, and if we could make it happen, I want to try to go as much as possible.
That'd be great.
But yeah, I go without them more often.
Yeah,
so.
It's great to show them your spots. Okay, before we get to the trip and all the pizza you had and all the other great things you enjoyed, tell me about what's up with your consulting business. You've got so many projects. You've opened over 60 restaurants through your consulting. And I'm going to link in the show notes to an earlier episode that talks a little bit about your history and where you came from and starting Roberta's and really being a leader in pizza. But I want to hear right now what's good in the consulting world.
Yeah, so right before Italy, I had like only one night home from a trip to Costa Rica where I was working on a project called Facci.
Cool.
Great clients. My client Juan Damiani, just a really, he was very inspired to switch careers, which are some of my favorite clients. Is when someone has like a corporate job, but they make pizza on the side or they do pop-ups and they want to, commit to it full time and follow their dream, because I think that's the best reason to open a restaurant is because you, not from a logical left brain perspective, but because you want to follow your dream and you like cooking as opposed to, working spreadsheets.
You have to love it. I mean, the pizza business, my sister-in-law owns a pizzeria in North Jersey. It's like extremely, extremely physical and mentally taxing. It's like you're not just running a restaurant, you're running a pizzeria, and you're just like running around all the time and lugging stuff and working with a customer that maybe doesn't appreciate your product as much as it should. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I mean, it's nobody really can. There's a lot of people who have never worked in a restaurant, and I think that you really cannot understand like the amount of work it takes, being on your feet for 12, 13 hours at minimum. That is something that a lot of people they won't understand, and so everyone thinks they're an expert on restaurants because they've all eaten at a lot of them. But yeah, it's. You can't think about. I try not to think about the customer too much. I mean, I think my philosophy, and I tell this to all my clients, is you have to make what you want, make what you want to eat, make what you're inspired by, and people will come to that and they will respond to that. Block out the negativity, focus on the positivity, and just. It's you against the product. It's not you against the clients or the guest or the other competition. It's you against the product, and it's a long-term battle of like looking for perfection, but knowing there will never be perfection, and that's a noble pursuit in life, I think.
It really is. And you also just have to think about a very price-sensitive customer, because everyone has their opinion about what a slice should cost and what a pie should cost. And it seems like it's always hot button. I mean, I'm talking about pizza on the show all the time, and people are always saying it's too expensive. But
yeah, I mean, it's also very geographically sensitive.
Sure.
It's cheaper to make a pizza in New York than it is in Costa Rica. For sure.
Yeah.
And you think, well, okay, that's like, it should be a cheaper country, right? Things should be cheaper there. People have perceptions. Things should be cheaper in Thailand or other places. But, if you're not in the Northern Hemisphere or parts of the Southern Hemisphere, you're not like necessarily in a great place for dairy production or for tomatoes or for flour. So you have to import those things. And so, that ends up being more expensive than, say, like what the local cuisine is. So it's a lot of times pizza is a specialty item, even though it is found everywhere in the world. I mean, I'd have to look at the statistics, but I'd say if there's like one food that is present in every country on the planet. I mean, I've made pizza in Mongolia, so it's like it's all over. It's pizza, but it's just it can be a struggle sometimes. So Italy, it's very affordable. And but even they are price sensitive as prices are going up, and they are very sensitive to that because wages are very low there. So, I mean, I think if you're a restaurant and you're charging something I think that it's probably, you probably know what you're doing because if you're open.
Yeah.
So if you get it wrong, you're going to be closed pretty quickly.
Yeah, it's true. That spreadsheet was a couple points wrong.
Yeah.
In your projections, you're not staying open.
Yeah.
It's a very small margin business. I want to ground it in New York a bit. And talk about upside because early in this episode, Mauricio and I were on our pizza crawl, and we just love upside. It was Mauricio's first time there. I've been many times, and what Noam has built there, and what you have helped build on the culinary side. Really, one of my favorite slices around. I want to talk to you about this summer slice I tried.
Okay.
So good, man.
Yeah, it was fun to get back in the kitchen with Noam, and they're just great clients. I started working with them I don't forget what it is, 6, 7, 8 years ago.
Before they even opened, I bet.
Yeah. No, from the very beginning, from the first store. And Noam actually came to Seattle with me to do it was like a Breville event. And he's like, I want to shadow you and really learn the pizza. And I was like, okay, well, I'm just doing this all naturally fermented. Like when I make pizza for myself, I do it all sourdough. And he's like, I want to do that in the shop. And I'm like, no, you don't do that in the shop. We'll do a hybrid. We'll do some yeast and we'll do some sourdough for flavor. He's like, no, I want to do, he really insists. He was the first client of mine to insist on all naturally leavened. And I was like, all right, let's do it. And, he was unbelievably dedicated in the beginning, like going in, checking on the dough at 3 a.m. and
putting the thermometers in.
Yeah, exactly. And, I from the 8th Avenue original location, what they built is incredible. I think they 7,
I think.
Yeah. And then Norm's, which I also worked on with them, which is 3 or 4.
Up on Court Street. I remember going there, right?
Yeah.
That was the one. I love that one.
And they have great branding, and the signage and stuff is super cool what they do. And they're one of my favorite clients. And Noam is also just a really good friend, and just, he's a great guy. He hustles really hard. Yeah. And I think it's great pizza. I think it's some of the best New York slice there is. And I have, people tell me that sometimes who don't know I was involved in it, and that always feels really good.
That's nice.
But yeah, so the summer slice, I went in to check on once you get to 7 stores, things, it's, you're making dough at every location. The temperature's a little different. Everything's, it can be complex. So, just dial some things in. We did a rework on the Sicilian right before you went, which is cool. Your feedback you gave us was great. But yeah, the summer corn. I grew up in Texas, and one of my favorite things ever was something called sopa elote, which is a corn soup that I used to have at this restaurant called Fonda San Miguel. And it was one of my favorite things when I was a kid. And it was corn, sweet onions, milk, and poblanos, rajas. So roasted poblanos cut into strips. And they would put corn
chips on top, tortilla strips.
Yes, so good.
Sounds delicious.
This was kind of inspired by that, because all those things are come in season at the same time: the corn, the peppers, and the onions. And so we did a cream base, the white wine lemon cream, which is the same recipe that's on the base of the mushroom pizza.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, so we cross-utilized that.
Yep.
And then some just raw corn that we just tossed with salt and olive oil, and roasted poblano strips, and some mozzarella and pecorino. And then when it came out, and some yellow onions.
Yeah, the onions are, I think, really cool element. They're raw, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the raw onions, yeah.
Yeah, we wanted to keep it simple. I think there's a lot of ways where you could, make it more complex. But I think I always want to start more simple. And if it works, then we're going with that. And then we finished it with just a little togarashi, which is a kind of a reference to street corn when they put the tagine on there. Yeah. So,
but yeah, the togarashi is a cool element. I could see the tagine working as well, but I think it has buzz to it. I think people want to eat togarashi on things that aren't ramen in Japanese, and it's a clever use of a now well-known product as a little spice, adds umami, of course.
A little citrus.
Citrus, too, from the yuzu. Yep. Yeah, it's a beautiful, great slice. Great slice.
Thank you. Yeah,
nice
it was, we're proud of that one. I think it's a great summer slice. And everyone should go to Upside Pizza.
Yeah, and the corners. I mean, getting that Sicilian and just like the texture and just like it all comes together in such a cool way.
Yeah, they've been great to work with, and now I'm back. I'll go check on them again.
Yeah, you'll probably do a little do you just like pop in?
Yeah,
even if you don't know the guys, are you just trying to do a little QC?
Sometimes if I'm walking by, I'll pop in, and I mean I know a lot of the guys now because I've worked with them.
Yeah,
and they have some really talented pizza makers there.
Definitely.
And they've got new locations, and so if I see it, I've tried to go to every location. But yeah, I mean, I need a little break from pizza at the moment right now.
I can imagine. We'll get to your trip to Italy. One more question. Where do you land on burrata on the slice? Because I had some pretty strong opinions about it that I shared. I'd love to get your take.
Yeah. I mean, why not? I mean, First of all, I had it in Italy. They've been doing it in Puglia forever.
Yeah.
I mean, why would you I don't know why anyone would get worked up about something like that unless they had like a specific beef with like a specific pizzeria that's doing it. I mean, L'Industria has become known for the burrata slice. It's their calling card. They're the home of the burrata slice.
Yeah.
I love those guys so much.
Terrific,
Nick and Massimo are the best in the business. I think it's the best, when they get rated number one slice in the world. I don't think it's wrong.
Transparency, are they a client?
No, not at all.
Good.
Just friends and neighbors, actually. Nick's my next door neighbor.
Oh, cool. I mean, my opinion, I think I was just having a little fun. I mean, that's the fun thing about pizza. I know it is your career, and like any shade towards your work is personal and shitty. I just think we have fun with it as writers about this judging and rating and stacking the order. I think it's,
Yeah, I mean, I'm generally pretty open, and all the things that I said I would never do, I've done. I
love that.
So
that's so cool.
Like no chicken on pizza. Well, yeah, I was in India, and there's a lot of dietary restrictions.
Yeah.
So chicken was one thing everybody who eats meat can agree on.
Yeah.
And so I did it, and it was great. We were just when we were in Italy. One of the best restaurants that I went to was I Due Platani, and Giuseppe from Stella Pizza in Milan made the reservation for me. It was like, it's an impossible to get reservation. He hooked it up. So the pizza dude's looking out for pizza dudes. Mm-hmm. And they had a chicken pasta that was awesome. And people were like, oh, chicken pasta doesn't exist in Italy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's there.
It's there. So it's real. It was at one of the best restaurants in the country,
Yeah.
So I think if you do anything you want, man, like I don't tell people, I'm not trying to like.
Rules are for writers. I feel like we just need like structure, and we need to like actually like sell papers.
Where do you land on the burrata?
My earlier comments was that I was extremely negative on it, and I feel like I just didn't see the need for it.
Yeah.
And I really, I hope it came through in the piece that we really liked industry, and we really like it as an operation, as a vibe. I love the pastry counter, just what they serve at the counter, just amazing. And
they're awesome.
Yeah, it's like a really important restaurant. So I just didn't see the need for it, and I think I would rather go to other places than like wait in line for a burrata slice. That's where I landed on it.
Okay. But, I mean, there was definitely a over burrata moment. I think Tammy
Teclamarian
wrote about it. And I don't think she was wrong in what she was saying, that it is everywhere.
Yeah.
And it's not something that I have done a lot, although I just announced today that we're doing an homage to it in Brazil.
Amazing.
At my pizzeria in Sao Paulo, Brasa Electrica. We're doing a Brooklyn special, and it's inspired by Nick and Massimo, and
And I mean, imagine Brazil has some nice burrata too.
Great local burrata.
Local
bufala burrata. I've been to in Jau to the factory, and made burrata with the ladies who do it every day, and they laughed at my poor technique.
At least you're trying.
They do great stuff there. I mean, the product is amazing in Brazil.
That's cool. Well, let's talk about the trip. I mean, how do you go into a big trip like this with your family? And tell us where you actually went over these 3 weeks, like the path you took.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a pretty plan oriented kind of guy. Yeah. So I create an itinerary day by day with links to everything, and try to make a lot of reservations. I think if anyone's planning a trip to Italy, it's important to make as many reservations as you can. Go ahead and leave yourself some open, spots for panini and pizza and things like that. But trattorias, osterias, you're going to need a reservation at the best places because they just, sometimes you make the reservation and then you go in and there's really not that many people there and you're like, what? Why did I do this?
Why did I make that phone call?
Yeah, but it's a lot of it is because they are planning, it may not look full, but they're not just waiting. They're not just going to prep a lot of food and hope a bunch of people come in. They want to plan their service.
Yeah.
So I think it's important for them and for you to make the reservations. So we started in Milan and we were there for there was this Best Pizza Awards thing, and I'm a voter, and I have some friends and clients on the list, and so they invited me, and I was like, yeah, that's a good excuse to go to Italy, and I got to see a lot of my friends from around the world there, which was super cool.
Probably pick up some new clients, maybe.
Maybe we'll see. I'm really, one of the biggest eye-opening things is this idea that I've had for a long time is that New York pizza is about to hit big in Italy. So I'm waiting for that call from an Italian operator to do New York slice in Italy because it's happening now. One of the people that I met there was the Giuseppe from Stella Pizza in Milan, and it's from the guys who own Bar Paradiso, which is one of the best natural wine bars in Milan. And they're doing it's a full-on New York slice place, Ninja Turtle stuff on the wall.
Okay, they're camping it up a little bit.
Yeah, they had to smuggle in the wood peels and stuff. It's
Baker's Pride.
It's a Moretti, which is a great deck oven, electric. But there's still a lot that they won't. I don't see a Baker's Pride showing up in Italy soon.
Someone might. Just as nostalgia for some Americans.
If you really wanted to do the full look,
the look,
But the performance of the electric ovens is important, and it was busy. It was all the cool kids were there, and it was awesome. So we started in Milan. We also went to Confine. Which is Francesco's Pizzeria. He's originally from Salerno in the south, but he opened a pizzeria in Milan. Number 2 in Italy, number 4 in the world from one of these lists. We did the tasting menu. The kids just had a margarita pizza and they loved it. But he does this fried pizza. He did this calzone with gamberi rosso in it. It was really little fancy for me, but the core pizza was just great. Hard to argue with. And Francesco was amazing. Gave me a tour of his kitchen, super state-of-the-art kitchen. My friend Henry made me the reservation from, this is a Instagram. I don't know if you know Al Dente Life.
I don't know. I'll follow.
He's from Taiwan. He owns some restaurants. But he studied and worked in Italy for a while, so he knows his Italy recommendations, and he does kind of on the street interviews with chefs in Taipei.
Cool.
And Henry's an amazing guy.
Yeah.
But so he made the reservation. That was great. We tried to not eat much pizza in the north.
Yeah.
Save that for Rome.
Yeah.
And then after Milan, we took, Ravella da Ciotto.
Okay. Was
incredible. That's in Milan. That's one of my favorite restaurants I went to in Italy. The pasta is incredible. Highly recommend that restaurant. Great. And then you get cotoletta Milanese and, you got to eat local, I think, personally. And then we rented a car and we went to Parma, Modena, and Bologna. And, it was a real whirlwind Emilia-Romagna food tour, constantly trattorias, tortellini and
Lambrusca, tortellini and brodo, all the hits.
Gnocco fritto. Yeah, culatello.
Yeah.
It was, my family was begging for mercy after, because it was hot.
Oh, Italy is hot for 5 months a year. It's crazy.
It was extra hot. It was making the news hot.
Oh, that's right. It was making the news. You're literally.
Yeah,
right.
It was 100 degrees, which is okay.
You're from Texas, though.
Yeah, and I was not complaining. But my family, on the other hand.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's in the north it's very hot because the basically that whole valley is situated. It's a giant flat plain situated between the Alps and the Apennine Mountains. And it's just so the air just kind of like hangs in there, and the humidity is very strong. I mean, I feel like Rome was better, even though it's further south. The humidity was not as, I mean, it was very muggy. I had never been to Parma, I had never been to Modena, so it was great to do that with all of us together for the first time. The gelato was exceptional. So
in Modena,
in Parma, Modena, and Bologna.
Wow!
I mean, it was every place there was like show-stopping gelato. So my friend Gabriele, who owns Love in Rome, which is a specialty coffee place. So they do like proper third wave coffee, and then they do proper like French style pastries, which like laminated croissants and things, not the cornetto. And his stuff is world class.
Yeah.
So he was giving me all the recommendations. Choco in Parma, outstanding.
Oh, I love that.
Bloom in Modena was so good. And then Cavour in Bologna was just like on another level entirely from all of them.
Anthony, tell me about where you land on gelato. I think you gave me the best rec in Naples. The Gay Olden rec we went back twice. What do you look for in a really good gelato?
So my friend Grace, who was going to school in Bologna, and then she was working in Milan. So we had dinner with her. She's originally from Mexico. We worked together in San Francisco, but she was studying gelato, studying pastry in Italy. And she was like, one of the first things you need to look for, is when the gelato's in the case and it's piled up super high, red flag, probably just walk out.
Super smart observation. Makes perfect sense.
Now, if it's level in the containers, but uncovered, still not what you want. What you want is the metal lid. They're in the round containers, and there's a lid on the gelato. You cannot see the gelato.
Yes.
Until they open the lid.
Yes, and Gay Olden is exactly that, and you have to like kind of guess sometimes what the flavor is because you can't see it.
Yeah, and some of those places don't even let you do tastes either. So you just got to roll with it. It's not America. Customer's not always right.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just have to be like, okay.
Take a shot.
Yeah, exactly. But that's what we're looking for. And then there's all these places, at least Chaco and Bloom are very big in this like, it's like new school, old school, like where they're basically like they're no preservatives, none of these binders, none of the chemicals, things like that. And then really trying to source, seasonal ingredients and things like that, local ingredients. One of the things I found out is that they have been growing mango in Sicily now. And so they're able to, some of these tropical fruit like sorbettos and things, they're able to source even locally.
That's very cool. What's your first flavor and your second flavor when you're judging a gelato shop?
I pretty much order the same thing everywhere. I'll taste, like when I was with them, my wife is like, she's always trying new things. My youngest son's trying new things. But for me, I'm pretty locked into either chocolate and fior di latte or chocolate and crema.
Crema, yeah. Definitely always grab crema myself.
And I like to add a little panna montata on there, the whipped cream.
If you can get that, please do. No pistachio though.
Yeah, and no, I mean, like I guess I'll try a lot of different things.
But okay, but I'm projecting. That's I go chocolate, fior di latte, and then pistachio. Those are my three.
Sure. I mean, and I love pistachio, and I think that like if they're sourcing from Sicily, especially too, I mean, it's like I think that's a great thing. But again, locally, crema is really in Bologna, in Emilia Romagna, is like I feel like that's a signature flavor for them, and it's in there they do it so simply, like there's not vanilla even or like lemon zest. Sometimes you'll find in Rome crema with those in there. It's really just eggs and cream
Yeah.
and sugar, and that's it.
And great products.
Yeah.
So you leave Emilia-Romagna. Do you head down to Rome then?
Yeah. So we did all of the, Osteria's like Mirasole, which was like number one.
Yeah.
It was literally named number one Osteria in Italy, and it was an incredible experience. But we dropped off the car in Bologna, and then we took the train to Rome, and it was like full on pizza from like for 5 days. I think we ate at 11 pizza places.
Oh, cool.
Starting in the airport at like 6:30 a.m. with Alice, which is like a chain, Alice Pizza. I don't know if it's called Alice or Alice, but
yeah.
It's a chain everywhere. Not very good. No offense to whoever's behind that, but still, it was in the airport. And
you were dropping off you're taking the train to the airport, and that's where you're going.
Yeah, we had got up super early, and we arrived, and we needed something to eat before we went on the Airbnb check-in like adventure. Because then we had to change from Termini to the subway to go down to Testaccio. But went to some of my favorite places. So for Tonda, which is the round, thin, and crispy style, we went to Arota.
Oh my God, it looked amazing. Your videos, your everything. Oh my gosh.
It's very, very good. It's part of this new school wave of like people doing, like Tonda is generally like old school way it was done was not like a ton of care in its production. Is a high volume.
It was a value proposition.
Yes.
Cheap pizza. Yeah.
Yeah. And also open late, I remember when I first, went to Rome 25 years ago, I was like, oh, there are restaurants in Europe that stay open past 11 p.m. And it's always the like Roman style pizzerias. They're open super late.
Yeah.
And they're just like cranking them out. But Tonda, each one is like perfectly presented and beautiful at Arota, and great ingredients, and just a lovely place. I mean, just great pizza. And then went to some old school places that I'd never been before. Pizzeria Ostienza, which was awesome. Just fun, high energy, frenetic, hectic. No one spoke English, had to fumble my way through the whole order in Italian, but they were super cool about it. And we loved the pizza. And then normally I'll go to 180 Grammi, which because I think it's like so responsible for like this revolution.
That's a reservation place, right?
Yes.
And that was Maurizio and I were in Rome last fall, and we couldn't book there. Yeah.
They have a takeout and delivery at the original location in Cintocelli.
Yeah.
So if you want to just try it and you don't have a reservation, that's the move.
Yeah.
But it's also Cintocelli. It's out there, which a lot of the best food is a little bit out of the ways in Rome. We then, for the Taglio places, we did Fratelli Trecca, which is amazing. It's the guys from Pantera.
Yeah. Which is closed recently, I saw.
Yeah, but then it reopened in Milan.
Oh, okay.
But I didn't get a chance to go there because it was like the day we were leaving.
Okay.
And
good to know.
But Fratelli Trecca is incredible, and it was everyone's favorite. We also went to Ruver, which I think is like maybe only a year old. And so Alessandro Ruver, he was worked under Bonci for a very long time, and he's just a wizard. I mean, I had a rabbit ragu slice from there.
Oh, beautiful.
It was
choice.
Probably one of the best bites of food that I had in all of the whole trip of Italy. It was, the flavor was insane. And I was kind of like, he like gave it to me because I was ordering pretty basic because for the kids, it was like mortadella and margarita and like a, and he's like, you got to try the rabbit. And I was like, okay.
You're like, wild choice here for a topping.
Yeah, okay. But it was awesome.
What's the acidity on that? There's got to be something.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It had this beautiful, bright acidity. It was with peppers. So kind of
cool.
the way they do polo and pepperoni, like the classic Roman braise.
Yeah.
But it was with rabbit. And it was like, there was this really nice, bright acidity. And then the fruitiness flavor from the peppers, from the sweet peppers. And the tomato sauce that it was in, it was fantastic.
What's the cheese element?
None.
If any, there's none, right?
No, it was just the ragu on top.
Ragu on top.
Yeah. That Ruver was great. We ended up going there twice.
So cool. Roover.
Yeah.
He followed his boss's, just name the spot after your name.
Yep.
Just do it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, and Roover is a memorable name amongst Italians. But
same as Falco. I'm just like, possibly pizzeria in your future. Huh?
Yeah, it would be a good name for a pizzeria. We'll see what happens.
We'll see what happens.
And then we went to Frumentario, which was just named #1 slice pizza in Italy by the top 50 pizza list. And it was amazing. And my cousin, who is a doctor, and she lives in Rome, from the Falcos who stayed in Sicily, she met us there, and we all loved it. Yeah, it was great. She was giving us all our advice on how to survive with the electrolytes, and
it was hot.
It was very hot. Yeah, we had an outdoor dinner at Piazza Romano, which is a great classic Roman trattoria, and for when we first got there for my son's birthday, and it was just like we were dying. And like we wanted to sit inside, and so then the next restaurant we were like, okay, we'll sit inside. And then we went and sit inside, and we were dying because the air conditioner was so weak, and it was like we couldn't win. Yeah. You know? So, but that's why the slices are nice. You can just grab a slice and then keep moving. Keep the breeze,
the air going. Yeah.
Yeah. So we also checked out a new slice place called Nonare in Garbatella, and it was from the split of Pantera. So Pantera closed. And I'm
one of those good things.
Yeah, it's the pizza world, man.
That pizza was great. Mauricio and I loved our slice there. Slices, yeah.
And I'm trying to stay neutral because they're all very nice guys to me. But they split up, and so one group is now Nonare and Garbatella, and then Fratelli Trecca is the other group. And I think they're going to reopen, and they also are the ones who kept Pantera.
Mm-hmm. Like the lease of that location.
Yeah. And so we'll see what happens if Pantera reopens in Rome, but in the meantime, Fratelli Trecca is amazing. And then for the Pizza Palla, we went to Campo di Fiore.
Yeah.
Which is great. The pizzetta actually is the move there.
For sure, yeah.
So good.
Yeah, so good.
And then Roscioli, of course, just kind of a must stop. And
you just go 1-2, Forno to Roscioli.
It's there, right? And then
close.
With the Pantheon in between.
Right there, close, yeah.
Which I always go to the Pantheon because it's just, to me, the most amazing building on planet Earth, and I can't go to Rome without.
And I don't want to bury the lead, too. It's like you went to some amazing spots with your family. I don't want you to come off as like a psycho. Like you went to like historical sites and went to like you were at the embassy, I saw on social media, and
we got a private tour of the U.S. Embassy, which was super cool.
So cool.
I think that was from the cookbook. The guy who works there was a fan of the cookbook. Nice. and went to some of my pizza places clients. So cool. That was great. I mean, what a nice guy. And it's in this like palazzo that has all this history. Oh yeah. We went to museums in Parma, Modena, Bologna, Rome. We went to multiple museums. We went to the Caravaggio exhibit.
Oh, cool.
Which they re-released tickets. So we were like, got up at 8 a.m. to like get on this crappy website and try to get on them. The museum that we went to in Bologna, Palazzo Poggi, highly recommend. One of the craziest museums in Italy. It's from the medical school of Bologna, which is the oldest university in the world. Started in 1088. And they have all these like skeletons and, things in formaldehyde and wax, like recreations of deformed, creatures and things. And very cool, very goth kind of cool museum to go to. The Estense in Modena was incredible. The Este family was super powerful, and so they collected antiques from Rome and from all over, and they commissioned. There was a Velasquez in there. It was just like, okay, this tiny. We're literally the only people in this museum. And you've got these incredible pieces in there. So yeah, culture is a big part of it.
Obviously, you have a mind for detail and appreciation of art, which is pizza and other things too. So I love that.
Yeah, for I mean, art was the idea, but ended up in the pizza world. But yeah, I mean, I still do illustrations for some of my clients, and I did a few drawings for Upside or and other clients around the world.
I had no idea you did some of those drawings for Upside.
Yeah, I do. I've done a lot of art. I mean, I used to do a lot of art at Roberta's.
Yeah, I know that. I mean, of course,
Yeah.
I know your history. I mean, you created this identity that was iconic and influential, but you're also doing design consulting too. I didn't quite grasp that. That's neat.
Yeah.
Anything else from your trip to Italy that you wanna? You're dropping so much great stuff here. I just think it's really helpful and very cool.
I mean, I love Italy so much, and it's starting to become kind of like an obsession of, needing to go and explore all the different areas. But I think that something like a takeaway for people who are listening and are planning trips is like, get off the beaten path. Like, Modena was amazing, and there was like no tourists there.
Yeah.
We went to a water park that was on the outskirts of Modena, like just signed up, bought tickets, and it was like just Italian families, dealing with the heat. I want to go to like all these like Trentino and like, I mean, there's so many different like off the beaten path. It's not just Rome and Puglia and like, Tuscany. Like there's so much in Italy.
Oh, I want to go to Umbria. That's one on my list. I've heard it's Tuscany on a budget in the best possible way.
Yeah.
From locals, they told me that. It's the
Last
framing.
summer we drove to Umbria from Tuscany for just one day, and we were like, why did we not spend more time there?
Yeah.
Like, definitely want to go back there.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Do you ever do tours of Italy? Have you ever been booked to?
Yes.
Or like with like listeners of our show? Have you ever?
Yes, I have. I've done private tours, and I would love to do more of those.
Yeah.
I did a pizza tour of Rome. It was I promised as a pizza tour, but I, as maybe have caught on, it turns into like a Roman history tour as well.
Yeah.
Just because I'm really like obsessed about just Italian, not just Roman, but all Italian history is so incredible.
Yeah.
It's had so many waves of interesting things. Going to the north, really, you realize too, like how much like interesting stuff was happening in the Middle Ages there, and then leading into the Renaissance. But yeah, I'd love to do that. And, more than just pizza, I'm really interested in kind of all of the cuisine and going to producers. And that's always really great going to like, I've taken people to wineries and to flour mills and things like that. Yeah. So, I don't know if that would ever be like a full-time thing for me. There's a lot of really talented people in that space, but I think maybe it's like, I'm a chef. So like that's a little bit of something, like I'm a working chef. So I think that kind of gets you, I mean, a lot of the best things that I was able to organize in this trip and previous trips is because of my colleagues in the industry.
Yeah, you can make those connections. Well, we do Taste Travels. I'm just saying. So maybe we could talk about something. It's been on the books for 26. I feel like it might maybe in the future. I think you really outlined why Italy is so important to you and your deep connections to industry, not just with pizza, but throughout the cuisine of Italy is so impressive. I'm very surprised that you care so deeply about this. Not surprised, but I respect your interest in it and your deep knowledge, not just of pizza.
Yeah, I mean, I think that one of the things that's so important about Italy is this, and it goes so far back, but this thing that they do where they are controlling the quality of the food. And it's not just about money. And yes, there are some, volume produced things, but there is, and I guess if you are like a, real like diehard, like kind of libertarian American or whatever, it might look like it's like over regulation and maybe it harms their GDP or whatever, or things like this. But like, it's hard to argue with the end result of like, like the slow food movement, and the like you get snack foods. Like one of our favorite things to do is just go to grocery store and get junk food for the kids, like snacks to have at the house. Yeah. But I mean, even those, you look at the ingredients and it's like, this is not bad. Really, it's not that bad. Yeah. I mean, there was like these like pastries that we were getting, and it was like they're sourdough.
Mm-hmm. Like they have a naturally leavened fermentation. Yeah.
I mean, and it's like there's no glyphosates are illegal, brominated flour is illegal, bleach flour is illegal. Like they're protecting their heritage, and food is an important part of their heritage, along with art and culture and literature and music.
Yeah.
And they guard it. I mean, and they're very good at making money, but they're tempering that with this guarding of the quality of what of their life and of things that they make, and it maybe it's more inefficient, but like
bless them for that. We don't
need
efficiency.
It's all about efficiency.
It's not.
Yeah.
We'll wrap and just like let's return to New York. We talked about Upside. Just in general, what's exciting you on the pizza scene right now? Like new openings or even established places? I know it's a broad question, but I always want to get your take.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't been back since the boys got their like groundbreaking review by the person. But Cheris is like, I went when it was still, I went like 3 times when they were still doing slices.
Yeah.
Spent some time with them, and like, it's great. I mean, I love what they're doing. I love the use of the high quality Italian products and then high quality American products. I did a project in Pennsylvania recently in Lidditz called Cavolo, and I used the Caputo Brothers mozzarella for the first time, and I loved it. And they're using that mozzarella, and I love to see that. It's awesome. It is a different mozzarella. It's very special, naturally fermented. It's really deep in flavor. It's very good. I'm excited to, I would like to see, and I've had some people talking to me about like Roman style, like tonda pizza happening. So I see some stuff maybe coming down the pipeline in that area.
It's been launched a few times over the past 15 years.
Yeah, like Marta.
I think of Marta a lot.
I think it's got to be done the right way, which is it's got to be just a box and like cheap.
Yeah,
and volume, and you got to tell people, look, don't get this pizza delivered. Don't take it to go. Sit down.
That's a
have
lot
some
of rules
beers.
for a New Yorker.
I know.
It just might not work in this city, unfortunately.
Yeah. I got to give a shout out to Upside alum who worked at Upside and Norm's, Rosario. And he just opened a place called Alvo's.
Oh, okay.
On I think it's Court Street or Smith Street. I think it's on Smith Street. And he's doing some really interesting stuff. It's like, it's kind of like in the vein of Diamond Slice. Have you been there? It's also great. It's in Greenpoint. It's in the vein of kind of like, hey, like this is like, old school New York pizza. We're gonna have salad pizza. We're gonna have buffalo chicken pizza. It's gonna have too much cheese on it. It's gonna be like, like what's a direct fermentation, like whatever, man. Like they're just doing, like kind of reviving that kind of 80s, like more is more New York pizza.
Yeah, I mean the salad slice and salad pie out on Long Island. You think about that, the popularity of that. Bringing that and channeling that in Brooklyn would be cool. That's new to me.
Yeah,
it's my old neighborhood. I love that.
Yeah. Check that out, Alvo's, and it's a cool space. And Rosario's just a great operator and a great guy. He deserves a lot of credit. He's worked really hard in the business. He worked at Badia when I first met him. He was there. The guy's been a student.
He's made the rounds.
He worked at Best Pizza. He's a student of the game, and he
Best Pizza.
Finally got his. Yeah, I mean, Best Pizza is always amazing.
Yeah.
Anything Frank's doing, I want to be. Yeah. I want to be there eating it. The F&F series is great. Like what they're doing. So I look forward to going to another one of those.
Yeah, those are fun.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure there's someone's plotting something right now.
By the time we run this, there'll be a few more openings. I'm just going to wrap it there, Anthony. It was such a great catch up. Thank you so much for joining the show.
Thanks for having me. It was a pleasure. I appreciate it.
This is Taste is hosted and produced by Eliza Barbanal and me, Matt Rodbar. The show is edited by lead producer Clayton Gumbert and supervised by Pat Stango, Director of Media Production and Development at Penguin Random House. Thanks to Shalia Harris and the production team at Penguin Random House. Theme music by Steve Rydell. Logo and guest illustrations by Ellie Skurzat. Visit Taste online at tastecooking.com and make sure to subscribe to our newsletter to keep updated on all cool things in the world of taste.